Hey party people, I'm Daryl. Today in this video, I'll walk you through how to create a WordPress website using Hostinger. In step 1, I'll walk you through how to sign up with Hostinger. We'll then walk you through the hosting plans and show you how to get your new domain name. A domain is the name of your website, like jimsbusiness.com. In step 2, we'll install WordPress onto your new domain. WordPress is a free open source platform where you can build your website with drag and drop builders, free WordPress themes, and free plugins. It's great for beginners, and anyone can get started building their first website with WordPress. In step 3, we'll import a free starter template and build your WordPress website using a free drag and drop builder. In this video, you will have access to hundreds of free professional templates. You simply select the template you want to import. You can then adjust the color palette for your websites, click on import, and your entire WordPress website will be ready in a few seconds. We will also be using free tools, so we'll be using a free WordPress theme and a free page builder called Elementor, which is the most popular page builder for WordPress. Now, the only cost that you'll have in this video is web hosting. However, we do have a discount code that will grant you the largest discount code available Hostinger has to offer. In step 4, I'll introduce you all to the Hostinger Dashboard. Hostinger has a variety of free tools at your disposal. You can create free business emails, create staging areas, and also create subdomains for your WordPress website. So does that sound good, party people? All right. Now there is a link in the description of this video. It'll take you to step 1, and that's to get your new domain in web hosting. And this is Hostinger.com. Now, Hostinger.com is among one of the fastest web hosts, yet also the most affordable in the industry. Now, before we go on to the plans, here at the top, you'll see this banner with this English tab. If English is not your first language, you can actually switch to your native language right here. For example, if you speak Thai or Portuguese or Italian or Japanese, you can pick your native language and the entire website will adjust to your native language. So once you get here, let's go ahead and click on Claim Deal. This will bring you to 4 different pricing options. We have the Premium, Business, Cloud Startup, and the Cloud Professional. Now, I definitely recommend going with the Business plan. This gives you access to more visitors, and it also includes a free CDN, which will speed up your website 40% faster than the Premium options. If you find yourself with a lot more traffic later down the road, you can always upgrade to the Cloud Startup or the Cloud Professional, where it does give you access to a little bit more visitors compared to these other plans. But to get started out with, let's go ahead and select the business plan. So right here under business, I'll click on choose plan. So the next page is the cart page, and now we'll select a period for our web hosting. So right here under the arrow, I'll click on the arrow, and I definitely recommend signing up for 12 months. This will qualify you for a free domain. You'll also get a large hosting discount and a free 30-day money-back guarantee for any reason whatsoever. Now on the right side, you'll see have a coupon code. Go ahead and click on this link. Now, right now, Hostinger is having their Black Friday sale, but we actually have a discount even bigger than their Black Friday sale. So we're gonna hook you up. So if you're watching this from maybe like 3 months from now or 4 months, don't worry, you will still get a large discount with our coupon code. If you enter the coupon code Daryl10 and click on apply, you'll see that the hosting discount increases. So here we have 77%, and I'll click on apply. And now it's 79%. Depending on the plan, you could save more depending on the length as well, but you do get the largest discount code available with Hostinger using our discount code. Once you put in the discount code, we'll then click on continue. On the next page, you'll go ahead and create an account. So you'll put in your email address, and then you'll put in a password for your Hostinger account. Once you put in these credentials, you'll then click on continue. And on the next page, you'll go ahead and fill out your billing information. So you'll put your first name, your last name, your country, and all of your billing information. I'll then click on continue. And on the next section, you'll enter in your method of payments. So you can use credit card, PayPal, Google Pay, and also Apple Pay. I'll go ahead and select card. And then I'll fill out my credit card information. Okay, so once we enter our credit card information, and you'll see we have our discount applied from our coupon code, we'll then go ahead and click on submit payment. All right, so after the payment page, it'll actually redirect us to the next page. Okay, so now we're gonna walk through the Hostinger wizard. So who is this website for? Well, it's for me or my business. I'll click on next. Do you want to create or migrate a website? I want to click on create a website and click on next. So next you'll create your login credentials, and this is what you're gonna use to log into WordPress. So make sure you write this down. You'll put in your email address, and then also put in a password for WordPress, and then you'll click on next. Next, they're asking us what kind of website we want to build. We can actually click on create a blank site and skip this section. So I'll click on create a blank site. So next you'll enter in the domain for your new website, and you get a free domain using our coupon code. So this is the domain name that people enter in the address bar when they're browsing the internet. So for example, I'll put darylstutorial.com. After we type that in, you'll see this is our free domain and it's currently available. So you'll go ahead and select your domain here, and then you'll click on next. So next we're going to register your domain, and this is important because you're claiming ownership of this domain. So is this personal or is this a company? I'll select personal. You'll then select the country of where you registered this domain. So I'll put United States, and then I'll click on next step. And next you'll enter in your contact details. This is important because this lets people know who actually owns this domain. So if you ever want to sell your domain later or something, they're always going to look at your contact details. So go ahead and put in your first name, your last name, and your contact information. And once you're done, you'll then click on Finish Registration. So next you'll go ahead and select a server closest to your target audience. So if you're in the Americas, you'll go ahead and select United States. If you're in Europe, you'll select Germany, or if you're in South America, you'll select Brazil. This really isn't that important because you do get free CDNs with Hostinger, and that makes copies of your website and puts it on servers all around the world. So your website will still be fast regardless of your location. But in my instance, I'll go ahead and pick Arizona right here, and then I'll click on Next. So now Hostinger is going to install WordPress on our new domain. So just give this maybe like 1 or 2 minutes. And congratulations, this is now your new WordPress website. So this is Hostinger's welcome wizard where they're just saying, hey, get started with your website, and they offer some tutorials and all that cool stuff. Now, before going any further, I first want you all to check your email. So going over here to my Gmail, you're going to receive very important emails from Hostinger. The first thing that you're going to do is verify your email address. This will make sure that you're a real person, and this will actually verify your email with Hostinger. So I'll go ahead and click on Verify Email. Okay, and this is the Hostinger dashboard, and this is where you can access the websites, you can make free business emails, and a whole lot more. We'll talk more about the Hostinger dashboard a little bit later, but let's go ahead and go back to the email. There is one more email that we also need to click on, and that's from Hostinger as well. Here, click on Inbox. You're going to want to verify your domain right here. So verify your email address to use your domain. I'll click on this, and then we'll click on Verify Email. So after you click on that link, our domain information has now been verified by Hostinger.com. So let's jump back to our WordPress dashboard. So here you'll see at the top, we have this preview domain. Now, in order to access your website and get out of preview mode, all you got to do is type in your domain name. So type in darylstutorial.com. And this is now your new domain where you see it's live on the internet. Now, if you ever want to log into your WordPress website, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either do this through the Hostinger dashboard. I actually do this quite often because I get very lazy and I forget passwords really easily. All you'll do is go over here to the website tab, and then you'll see your domain, and you can just click on WordPress admin, and this will log you directly into your website. And just like that, we are now logged into WordPress, and you'll see that we are now using our live domain on the internet. And if I click on visit site right here, you'll go ahead and see a copy of our websites. So next, let me show you all how to log into WordPress using your browser. So here you'll enter in your domain name, and then you'll enter -wp-admin, and this will bring you to the WordPress login screen. So I'll press enter. This is where you're going to enter in your credentials. You'll enter in your email and your password. So just remember, these are the credentials that you created when you installed WordPress. So I'll go ahead and click on Remember Me, and then I'll click on Login. So that's how you can log in and log out of WordPress, so you can work on your website from any location. All right, congratulations on setting up your new domain and web hosting. It's really simple, right? Hostinger makes things so simple. Now in this next section, I'll walk you through the general settings, and we're also going to install a WordPress theme. Then we'll import a starter template. We'll then design the starter template and fit it to your liking. And after this section, you'll have a really nice looking WordPress website. Y'all ready? Let's go. So next, let's go ahead and talk about the WordPress dashboard. So here you'll go ahead and see a list of your pages. So if I click on all pages right here, you'll see a list of all of your pages. These are just demo pages, so you can just go ahead and delete these pages if you don't want them. Also for posts, the same thing for posts. These are lists of all of your blog posts, and you always get this cool one called Hello World, which is just an introduction to the blog, but we can go ahead and also trash this. So I'll click on trash, and that's how you can delete pages from your websites. So let's go ahead now and jump into the important WordPress options. So let's go ahead and go over here to users and click on profile. So the first thing you can do is you can go ahead and change the backend color scheme of your websites. So if you like blue or coffee or midnights, you can go ahead and select one of these colors. I do like midnights. I feel like this is easier on the eye, right? If you scroll down, you'll see this is where you can change your email. So if you ever forget your password for WordPress, it'll always be sent to this email. So make sure you have access to it. We'll go ahead and scroll down. Now, if you ever want to change your password for WordPress, you'll go ahead and click on Set New Password, and then you'll enter in a new password for WordPress right here. Once you're done with those options, we'll then click on Update Profile. Next, let's go ahead and go over here to Settings, and let's click on General. Now, the first thing is you can give your website a name. So I'm going to put Daryl's Store, right? And then you have a tagline. This is kind of like the tagline of your website. You know how Nike has Just Do It, right? You can put a tagline if you want, or you can leave it blank. You can also upload a site icon, and this appears at the top of browsers when people visit your websites. And scrolling down, you can always adjust your email address again right here. Now, for those of you who speak various languages, you can actually change the backend of WordPress to your native language. So if you speak Chinese or Russian or Dutch or Spanish, you can go ahead and select the language right here, and the entire backend will change to your native language. Once you're done with those options, we'll then scroll to the bottom and then click on Save Changes. Okay, now there's two more options that I do want to check. Let's go ahead and click on the Discussion tab right here. Now, WordPress started off as a blog, so people typically are going to leave comments on your website, but that's really annoying. So right here, I'll click on Allow People to Submit Comments. This typically will allow people to spam your website with like Viagra pills and all sorts of crazy stuff. So make sure you uncheck that box, scroll to the bottom, and then click on Save Changes. And the very last option before we design our website is permalinks. So right here, I'll click on permalinks. Now, you always want to change the permalink structure to post name. This is optimal for SEO, and it's a lot cleaner. You'll see these other links right here are really messy with the date and all this unnecessary information. Post name is actually optimal for SEO and is the best setting for your permalink structure. So go ahead and select post name, scroll to the bottom, and click on Save Changes. Okay, now let's go ahead and click on our dashboard. So next, let me quickly touch base on plugins before we install our WordPress theme. So over here, I'll click on Add New Plugin. Now, there is more than 54,000 plugins available for free in the WordPress repository. But what does a plugin really do? Well, a plugin is more of like an add-on for your website. Think of plugins like applications for your iPhone. So for example, WooCommerce will actually give you the ability to sell products on your websites. WP Forms is a contact form builder. All-in-one WP migration allows you to copy and paste your website onto other various websites, and there are tons of plugins. So no matter what you're trying to do, there is a plugin for pretty much everything, which makes WordPress probably one of the best platforms for building a website. But now let's go ahead and install a WordPress theme. So on the left side, you'll see Appearance. Let's click on Themes. At the top, I'll click on Add New Theme. So what does a WordPress theme really do? Well, a WordPress theme controls parts of the website that the page builder normally does not, such as the header, the footer of your websites, some blog pages, and some archive pages. However, with today's page builders, WordPress themes are becoming less important because page builders are doing most of the work. But we're going to install a free WordPress theme that offers tons of demos and allows you to customize all parts of your websites. So under Search Themes, let's go ahead and type in Solace. This is a brand new theme that hit the market. You are going to love it. It has the best demos available on the internet. So here is the Solace theme. You'll go ahead and click on Install Now, and then you'll click on Activate. Once you install the plugin, the theme requires you to install an extra plugin called Solace Extra. So go ahead and click on Begin Installing Plugin, and then click on Install. Next, I'll click on Return to Dashboard. All right, and this is the Solace dashboard. So this is where we can import templates. We can customize our website using the Solace theme. And now let's import a starter template. So right here, I'll click on Start Now. And next we'll be prompted with this page here, but let's go ahead now and click on Start Now. So here is a list of available templates for Solace. There is more than 87 templates available. If you click on Load More, you'll see that there is a list of templates for virtually any type of business niche. On the left side, you'll see categories, and you can go ahead and click on one of these boxes. So for example, if this is a business, and then you'll see available templates for the business category. Now the template that we're gonna use for this video is called Edinburgh right here. Just in case you can't find it, you can type it in. So Edinburgh, and you'll see it right here. So you'll go ahead and click on this template kit. And what's really cool is here's a preview of what your website will look like. So you can actually scroll down here and take a look. You'll see you can take a look at the entire website using this browser. You can also change the color palettes. So right here, if I click on color palettes, you can actually change the scheme of the websites. And for the font style, you can actually change the font right here to several pre-made fonts that we've created. I do like this one right here. I'll select the red one. Now, one thing also is you can actually check on other parts of the website by clicking on the tabs up here. And this will show you what all the pages look like very easily without having to import the templates. So we're going to go ahead and import this template kit here. Now, the one box you must check is this box right here. We're gonna check this box. This makes sure that we install the Elementor page builder, which is required to use this template kit. So after you select this box here, you'll then click on Continue. The next option is you can choose to sign up for our newsletter or not. If you don't want to, no problem. You can always click on Skip this step. And now Solace is going to import the demo website. Make sure you leave this tab open right here and wait about maybe 1 minute and the entire website will import on your new WordPress website. And just like that, it'll let you know the import is complete, and then we'll click on Check Websites. And look at that. We now have a beautiful, fully completed WordPress website. Here you can go ahead and scroll down and take a look at the website, and you'll notice that this website, the designs are great, the images are really beautiful, and the team did a really good job at designing this template kit. So you'll see everything here is imported successfully on your websites. Let's go ahead now and scroll up to the top. And you can go through the other pages. So here on the top left, this is your menu navigation bar. Here is the About Us page. And if we scroll down, you'll see everything imported successfully, including the text, the images, and then we just threw in some demo content, which you can update a little later. So this is how you can import template kits using the Solace theme. It's a great theme, really nice demos, but let's go ahead and jump back to the home page. So here, I'll click on Home. All right, so now that we've imported this beautiful template, now let me walk you through how to design it using the drag and drop page builder called Elementor. Now this is a free drag and drop page builder, and this plugin was auto-installed when we imported the template on our website. So in this part of the video, I'll walk you through how to use the page builder to build your WordPress websites. Y'all ready? Let's go. So now let's talk about how to design the websites. Now let me give you all a 10 to 15 minute crash course on how to use the Elementor page builder. Now Elementor is a free page builder and was auto-installed when we imported the demo. So to use the page builder, there's two different ways. You can click on Edit with Elementor up here, and this will turn on the page builder. You can also go ahead and go over here to Dashboard. And here is a list of all of our pages that are imported on our website. And you can click on Edit with Elementor and turn on the page builder for any of these pages. But let's go ahead and go back to Visit Sites. And let's turn on the page builder on the front end. So to do that, just click on Edit with Elementor, and this will turn on the page builder. So this is the Elementor page builder UI, and this is where we can design the websites. Now on the left side, you'll see that we have some elements. The first is the layout. These are essentially containers where you can add in elements inside containers. And then we have our basic elements such as text editor, button, and so on and so forth. Below that, we have our Pro elements. These are only available in Elementor Pro, so I'll go ahead and collapse that. And then we have the general elements here at the bottom. Now, in order to use an element, all you gotta do is drag and drop it onto the page. So for example, I'll take a text editor and I'll drag it onto the page. And there's that pink line right there. I'll go ahead and drop the text editor. Now for every element, you're gonna have three different tabs. You have the content tab. This controls the actual contents of the actual elements. And then you have the style tab. This controls things like the color and also the typography of the elements. So for example, if you want to change this to like red, you'll see, changes to red. And then the Advanced tab, this controls things like margin and padding, where you can add in space for your elements. You can also add in really cool things like motion effects. So right here, I'll click on motion effects. And then for the entrance animation, you'll see that we have a bunch of different animations. So we have zoom in down, right? So we have bounce in down, right? And there's a lot more you can go ahead and choose from. But don't get too crazy with elements. It's a quick way on how to make your website look really tacky, right? So here I'll go ahead and click on the plus element tab, and this gives you access to the elements. Now for every element, you can also right click on it. So for example, I'll right click on this and I'll click on duplicates. And I can take this and I can just drag it below this one right here. Now you can also go ahead and delete elements. So I'll also right click on this, and at the bottom, I'll click on delete. I'll right click on this one, and I'll also click on delete. And for example, if you want to change the text for a specific section, for example, here, I'll click on the text. All you got to do is just change this. So I'll put something here like, welcome to your new WordPress websites. And then you'll see the text changes right there. Now up here, you'll see that there's this pink line. So this is a way on how to add in more sections. So for example, let's say I want to add in a new section above this. I'll click on the plus arrow right here, and then I'll click on the plus. And then we have the option for Flexbox and Grid. Flexbox is most commonly used. Grid is more for images. So I'll go ahead and click on Flexbox. And now we have these boxes right here. Now, I bet you might be confused on the down and the right arrow. I'll explain that in just a little bit, but let's just go ahead and click on 2 rows right here. I'll click on the add elements, and now we can drag in these elements. So I'll take a heading text, I'll drop it here. I'll click on the add elements. I'll throw in a text editor. And then maybe here I'll throw in an image, maybe in the middle, right? So I'll go ahead and put it right here in the middle. And then I can choose an image. So I'll click on choose image. Now, when you import the Solace theme, we actually give you a bunch of demo images you can use on your websites. So for example, we'll go ahead and select this one here and click on select. And then you'll see the image appears here. You can also control the image, so you can make it a little bit smaller if you want. And there's several different ways on how to, size the image. And let's say, for instance, you want to throw in a button. Here, I'll click on the plus, take a button, and I'll just put it right there. Now, if you do want to link the button to another page, here under link, all you got to do is type in the name of the page. So for example, if you want to link this to like the contact us page, here I'll click on contact. And what's really cool about Elementor is they'll actually pull up the link and enter it right there. So I'll change this to like contact us. And now this button links to the contact us page. Now I want to talk more about some of the other options here. So for example, I showed you all how you can right click on this and duplicate it. You can also do this with rows and also entire sections. So for example, here I'll click on the container, I'll right click, and I'll click on duplicate. I'll right click and I'll click on duplicate again. Now, if you want to get rid of this container, I'll right click on this container and I will delete this container. So you can see here how you can make like a My Team section or About Us section really easily with Elementor. Now, you can also do this with the entire section as well. So under the Edit Container, I'll right click on this and I can also duplicate this entire section. So below that, you'll now see that we have a new section here that we can fully customize and edit. Now, if you do want to add a background, here under the container, you can actually add a background to one specific row or the entire section. So for example, I'll click on Edit Container, and you'll see these options here on the left side. Now, these options are only referring to this one container. So for example, here under Style, we have background type. We have Classic, Gradients, and a few other options. So I'll select Classic, and then I'll just pick like a subtle gray color. And then you'll see here how the background color changes. Now, if you want to change the entire section, you'll see this pink one up here. I'll click on the 6 dots, and then I'll go to Style. And this is where we can actually change the background for the entire section. So for example, here we have the classic color. If you want to change it to like another color, you'll see that this changes for the entire section, except for this one because we've already added a background. Now here we have hover. Now hover is just basically saying you can change the actions if someone hovers over something. This is common for buttons. So for example, if I click on the contact us, go to the style and then click on hover, you can actually change the color when people hover over it. So for example, I'll change the color to something like black, right? So now if I hover over this, you will now see that it changes to black. So you do have the option for normal and hover for all the elements. So next let's talk about the advanced section. So let's say for instance, you want to add some space up here. You see how it's pretty close? Here I'll click on the 6 dots, then I'll click on the advanced section. And now we're going to add some padding. Now think of padding as just space, right? So I'm going to unlink these values right here. And let's say I only want space at the top. Here I'll go ahead and just throw in some space here, right? What is that? Was that good? Maybe 90 pixels, right? And let's say you want some space here at the bottom, because as you can see, it's just a little too close to the bottom. So we're also going to add some padding here to the bottom. You can also go ahead and just manually type this in, like 90 as well. And you could do the same thing for the left and the right side. So I'll add maybe 20 pixels and 20 pixels. And if you want to see what your website looks like without the builder, here I'll click on this arrow. And now you'll see that this is what it'll look like when users visit your websites. So let's go ahead and reopen the editor. So as you can tell, Elementor is pretty straightforward. It's not complex whatsoever, but let's go ahead now and delete this section. So I'll click on the delete container, and then also I'll do the same thing here. I'll also delete this container. So now let's talk about something that is a little bit more challenging. Let's talk about the Elementor Flexbox. Now at first this might be intimidating, but trust me, the Flexbox will be your best friend later. So for example, here I'll click on the 6 dots, and now we have this direction, and you'll see that we have horizontal, vertical, reversed, and column reversed. So for example, if I want these elements to stack on top of each other, you'll now see that all the elements stack on top of each other. If I want these reversed, this actually changed it to reversed, and also we have column reversed as well. So using the direction tab, you'll see that this is how you can actually manipulate all the elements in the section without having to manually change the padding for each of them. So here I'll go ahead and change this to horizontal. So next let's go ahead and design this homepage really quick. So if I click on this Flexbox right here, you will see that we already have the Flexbox on. So I want to go ahead and turn this off. So I'm going to click on the horizontal, and I also want to uncheck all these options, and we're going to start from scratch. So the first thing that I want to do is change the title of this. So over here, I'll click on the text, go to contents. Now notice here how this says BR. This is just a way on how you can bring the text to the next line. This is just like a quick little hack if you want to do that. So for example, I'll put like Daryl Wilson. And then here I'll put like maybe WordPress tutorial. Okay. So now let's talk about the actual containers now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a container and I'm going to drag it. Okay, so you'll see that pink line. I'll go ahead and drop it. Now what I'm going to quickly do here is get rid of this background image because it's kind of annoying. So I'm going to right click on edit hero. And for the style, I'm using a gallery background, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete these really quick. And we're just going to start on a blank sheet like this. So now I want to take these buttons, I want to drag them inside this container. So I'll take this button, I'll drag it here, and I'll take the learn more as well, and I'll also drag it here as well. This is why the Flexbox was created. As you can tell, it's very hard to get these buttons to be in the center of the page without having to manually, add padding. Before the Flexbox, you had to actually do this, where you actually had to move these around and, put them to where you want. And this was just a terrible way on how to design websites. So the Flexbox made things a lot easier. So clicking on the container right here, I'll now click on horizontal. Now I clicked on horizontal, we have this justify content. And this is where I can position the elements inside of this box, right? So you'll see we can go ahead and, put these around here, or I can just click on the center. We can also add in gaps. So if you want to add in a little bit more gaps, you can go ahead and do that as well. And then we have the align elements. This allows you to align the elements, but since we're already in a small box, it really won't have any effect. So the Flexbox allows you to manipulate elements inside of a container, which actually does speed up the process. Now, again, if you want to add in a background image here, I'll just right click on this, click on edit hero. And here for the background type, we can change this to like, some color right here, right? Or I can use a gradient where we can add in a gradient color. So for example, we'll change this to like black, or no, blue. Let's do blue and teal or something. I think those are popular colors, or green or something, right? Something like that. And then here we have some options where we can change the angle, right? So we can make it like, you know, look a little bit different. There's also the option for radial, which puts it in the center like that. You can always add in a traditional background image by clicking on classic and just putting an image here. I'll just throw in our standard image and click on select. So for background images, I do recommend for the display size that you always put cover. This will actually force the image to cover the entire background. Now you might have noticed here that, you know, the text is kind of hard to read because this image is so white. You can always add a background overlay. So if I click on background overlay and click on classic, here under the color section, we can add in like a dark overlay right here. And this will actually help the text be a little bit more legible. Obviously, you'll go ahead and change this text to like, you know, a color that matches, but you can always add in a background overlay to make the text more legible. You can also add in a video right here. So if you want to throw in a YouTube video, you can just put a link right here and the video will play in the background. And lastly, we have the slideshow where you can have multiple slides showing in the background. So next, let's talk about how to go back into history. If you made a mistake on your website, as you can tell, you know, we have this page, but it doesn't really work out for us. Here at the top under the Elementor logo, I'll click on the history tab, and then you can go back to any part of where you're editing your websites. So for example, if you want to go back to the way beginning where you started your website, here I'll click on editing started, and then you'll see the website takes you back to when we originally first edited the page. And to exit out of the history, here at the top, I'll click on add elements, and then we're brought back to square one where we can design the website using Elementor. So overall, as you can tell, you can go ahead and just navigate this website. You can click on the background here. You can adjust the images. You can go ahead and change the text to whatever you would like. And you can just go ahead and add any elements you want and design this any which way you want with full flexibility and freedom to use this page builder. So let's go ahead and scroll to the top, and here I'll click on publish. So next, let's talk about these controls. So this right here allows you to preview changes. So if you do want to open your website in a new tab, this will actually show you what it looks like. You also have the option for the Finder. This essentially will go ahead and just pull up different pages. So if you want to go to your contact page, you can just click on this and the Finder will take you to that page. So next, let's talk about mobile responsive. Here at the top, you'll see that we have this tablet icon. This is what your tablet looks like on a tablet device. If you want to edit parts of your website specifically for tablets, you can do that here as well. So for example, I'll go ahead and scroll up. And let's say, for example, this text is a little too large, as you can tell. I'll click on the pencil icon. And then over here under the style section, you'll now see that there's this tablet portrait. And this will appear for every single element for the page builder. So for the content right here, under the typography, I do want to change this for tablet. So you'll see right here how we can make this a little bit smaller. I think that's good right there, right? 17, right? So you can go ahead and you can design every element here for the tablet. But me and my team did a pretty good job here at optimizing your entire website for all devices. So what you can do here is just go ahead and go through any part of the website and adjust it specifically for the tablet device. Now, if you want to readjust your website for mobile, here at the top, I'll click on mobile portraits, and then you'll see what your website looks like here on a mobile device. And you have the same options here as well. So for example, if you want this button maybe a little bit smaller, you'll click on the element here, go to the style tab, and then you'll see that you now have the phone icon. So all you're gonna do is go over here to typography, and then we'll just change the size of this a little bit, right? Change it to maybe like, I don't know, 10. I think 10 is good, right? So now you're adjusting the website for the mobile device. And scrolling down here, you'll see everything looks pretty well. Everything, makes sense. Now there is one thing that I do want to show you all, and that is how to hide sections on specific devices. This section here, you might not need it, right? So you can actually hide specific sections or elements on specific devices. I'll click on these 6 dots right here, and under the Advanced tab, all I'll do over here is scroll down, and under the Responsive tab, I just want to hide this on the mobile portrait. So that means people on a mobile device will no longer see this section. And you can do this for all parts of your website. So you can really fully control what people can see and what they can't on your website using Elementor. So yeah, you'll just go ahead and scroll down here. You'll have a party, you'll go through here and design it to your liking. But overall, that's how you can design your website for the phone, for the tablet, and also for the desktop. Now the next option is the navigator up here. If you ever want to go ahead and click on a specific section of your websites, it'll take you down to that specific section. You'll see if I click on these like containers, or if I click on this video down here, it'll actually redirect me to this. So if you find yourself getting lost on your website, you can always go ahead and click on one of these. You can also go ahead and drag and drop these as well. Now, I don't recommend doing this because that's a really weird way to build your website, but let's say, for instance, you want to take the Our Team section and put it above the Our Services, right? So for example, I can take this Our Team section and I'll hold it and I'll drag it up above the Our Services and drop it, right? So now you see Our Team here is at the top, and then Our Services here is at the bottom. So you can go ahead and rearrange these elements here and also build it like that if you want to go that route. And the last option that we're going to show you is the site settings. So here I'll click on site settings, and here we have some options. We have global fonts and we also have global colors. Here I'll click on global colors. Now you can actually go ahead and set a global color palette for your websites by clicking on this color, and you can just go ahead and select that there. You can also do the same thing for fonts. So once you actually select this, we'll then click on Save Changes. Next, I'll go ahead and close this. And then you'll see that a majority of the elements here will change if they selected the color palettes. Now, what's also helpful is if you want to quickly go ahead and change to that color palette, I'll click on the elements. And then for the style under the icon, if I click on this little globe right here, you'll see the preset color is already here. So I'll just click on this and that'll change it to that color. Now I want to show you something called copy and paste. This is really cool. Here I'll right click on this element and I'm going to copy it. Now let's say I want to apply that color to the other elements. I can just go ahead and right click and copy, and I'll right click on this element and then I'll click on paste the style. And then I'll go ahead and take all the styling options from one element to the other. So here I'll go ahead and paste the style. And as you can tell, that's a very quick way on how to change the color scheme on your website in a matter of seconds. So this is an overview on how to use the Elementor Page Builder. Feel free to go to the rest of the website, use the Flexbox, get comfortable, but overall, this was a quick rundown of how to use the Elementor Page Builder. Now to exit out of this, under the little arrow right here, I'll click on View Page. And this will bring you back to the home page where you can go ahead and go back to WordPress, or you can re-enable the page builder. Okay, so in this part of the video, I'm gonna walk you through how to create pages and also how to add them to the menu. Now, when you import starter templates from various WordPress themes, they create pages for you automatically, and they also create your own menu for you as well. You can always delete the pages and create your own pages from scratch if you wanna go that route. So in this part of the video, I'll walk you through how to create pages and also how to adjust your menu. So next, let's talk about how to add pages and also how to add them to the menu. So to create a page on your website, there's two ways. Here at the top under plus new, you'll click on page, or you can do it from the back end. Here under pages, I'll click on all pages. And here at the top, I'll click on add new page. And for this title, I'll put staff. Here I'll click on publish and publish. Now I'm gonna close this really quick. And for the Solace options, I do want to click on hide title. That'll hide the title of the page on the website. So I'll click on save. Now, in order to use the page builder, here at the top, I'll click on edit with Elementor, and this will turn on the page builder. And now you can use Elementor to design the staff page. So just like before, we'll go ahead and click on the flex box, and I'll select maybe a 3-column row right here. And then you can drag and drop elements as usual. So we can use the heading text and the text editor, and so on and so forth. So you can completely design this page however you want. So I'm not gonna go into detail on making a new page because we've already done that, but I do wanna show you all the Elementor AI. Now, this is a paid service, but you do get a free trial, so you can just test it out, see maybe if this is for you or not. Here you'll see these little sparkly AI thingies, right? You'll click on Build with AI, and then you'll connect your website with Elementor.com. So here I'll click on Connect. Now you first must have an Elementor account. You can go ahead and make one for free. And once you do, you'll click on connect. Once you do that, we'll click on get started. Now you can put in prompts right here, right? So I'll just put something very standard so I went ahead and I put in create me a my staff page with 3 columns for my staff. And then right here, I'll click on generate. Now I'll be honest, this is in beta, so it's not the best. Many of the times when I ask it to make 3 columns, it usually doesn't, but it gives you something to work with. So here they give us 3 different layouts. And like I mentioned before, it's similar, right? We have something to work with. You can also go ahead and click on this link and go to Elementor's website where they do give you more prompts to work with. But I'll go ahead and just select this template here and then click on use layout. And what the AI did right here is they just positioned the text, they added in images for us, and all we have to do is just change this to something that represents our website. So I'll go ahead and just change these images. So after we add some content and some images, you'll see this can be used for like a My Staff page. So that's a quick way on how to use the Elementor AI if you want to speed up the design process. But let's go ahead now and publish this and add this to the websites. So here at the top, I'll click on publish. Now notice here, it's not on our menu yet, so we now need to add this to the menu. So let's go over here to the Elementor logo and click on exit to WordPress. Here, I'll click on the WordPress logo. Now here under appearance, let's click on menus. So up here, you'll see select a menu to edit. We're gonna select the primary menu, which is the main menu. These are automatically created when you import a template kit, and then I'll click on select. So this is the current menu that we're working with, right? Now here under all pages, I'll click on view all, and then we'll find the staff right here, and then I'll click on add to menu. And then you'll see that we have the staff, and I'll go ahead and just rearrange it, and then click on save menu. All right, so now we can take a look at our website here. If we click on visit sites, you'll see that the staff page now appears, and I'll click on this, and then you'll see the page that we created using AI. So that's how you can create pages and also how to add them to the menu. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the Solace theme customizer. Now here at the top, you'll see customize. Go ahead and click on customize. Now every theme for WordPress has a theme customizer, and our specific theme allows you to control the header and the footer of your websites. We actually made it very simple for users. We really wanted to focus on simplicity with this. So here under header builder, you'll see that we have different presets on how to design your header. So for example, I'll click on this one here. And then you'll see that we have these 2 buttons where users can either go to the contact page or somewhere else. If you don't want a menu whatsoever, here we have this one here. And if a user clicked on this, it'll then open up the menu here, and you can fully design the colors and everything else. So you can go ahead and navigate through this and maybe pick one of the headers. I'll go ahead and select this bottom one here. Now also, we have this tab right here that says elements, and you can drag these elements onto the page. So for example, if you want like a contact section, here I'll throw in a contact on the top row. And then you'll see that we have this appear on the top row. Now you can always design this right here by clicking on the elements. And for example, I can't see the text, so I'll change it to black. And then you'll see that we have the text show up right there. Now also for every element that you add, you can also design the row. So I'll click on this gear icon here, and then we can change the background color, right? So for instance, if I want to add like a black background, or I want to change the background, I can go ahead and change the color. We can also use a gradient as well. So I'll go ahead and select this one, and then you'll see that we can go ahead and use a gradient. Now you can also add a third row. So for example, if you want to add in social icons here on the third row, you will then see that we now have a third row here, but we need to add some social icons. So I'll go ahead and select Facebook. Then you'll put a link for Facebook, and then you can add in another one here, YouTube, right? Put in your YouTube channel, right? And then you can also do the same thing right here where you can also design the background color and everything else, right? So you can go ahead and fully design this header to your liking, and you can make up to 3 rows using the Solace theme. Now every element is fully customizable, so you can click on like the menu right here, and then you can actually select which menu that you want. Same thing for the logo. This is where you're gonna upload your logo. You'll see that we have this black logo here. And if we scroll down, you can actually change the width of the logo. So you can make it bigger if you want, or you can just make it smaller. So you can fully design your header of the website using the Solace header builder. Now we have the same option here for the footer builder as well. So here is the Solace footer builder, and just like we did for the header, you can also do the same thing for the footer. So you can click on elements here, and you can add in more elements. So for example, if you want to throw in a button over here, you'll see the button now displays. Now these footer widgets right here are using menus. So we created specific menus for the websites. So if I click on footer 1 right here, you'll see that it's using a menu. If you want to get rid of this, I'll remove this. And then we'll add a widget for footer area 1. So right here, add a widget. I'll put maybe text. And this will be like about us. And then you can go ahead and fill this up with contents. Now you can also add an image inside of the contents, yet you can also add another widget and then add an image. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here, I'll click on add a media. I'll select our logo. And then you'll see the image displays here at the bottom. Now, if you want the, the text below that, here I'll go ahead and cut this, and then I'll press enter, and then I'll paste the content below that. So I do like that look. It looks pretty nice. If you want to add in more widgets, all you got to do is click on add a widgets. And then here are tons of widgets that you can add, right? So you can add a block, you can add images. So here I'll click on image, and then I'll put add an image. And here I'll just throw in a signature and click on add to widget. And then you'll see that we have now this new signature widget right here. So you can fully customize your footer using the Solace footer builder. Now there is one important option, and that is the core options. If you want to assign your home page right here, you'll see a static page, and here you'll select your home page. So if you ever want to create a page from scratch and you want to assign it as your home page, you'll do that right here. For example, if you want to select the About Us page as your home page, you can select About, and this is now your new home page. If you want to pick a page for your blog post to also display, you'll go ahead and create a blog page and then assign that as your blog page. But we've already done that here, so you can just leave that, but you can always create a new blog page from scratch if you want to go that route. So that is the Solace theme customizer summed up. It's very simple. It's very simple to work with. As you can tell, we focused on simplicity with this theme right here. So that is the Solace theme customizer. And if you ever want to save your changes, all you got to do is click on publish, and that'll save all the changes you made in the theme customizer. But I don't want to do that because this website looks terrible now that we have this menu. So I'm just going to exit out of that. So to exit out, I'll click on the X and click on OK. So if this was the first website that you've built and now you're wondering, what do I do after building this website? I have a video in the description, and it talks about 12 things to do after you build your WordPress websites. There's several key things you should do, like setting up an SEO plugin. That is like a must, right? Setting up your Google Analytics and also integrating the Google Search Console. So I do recommend to check out that video in order to get your website found on the Google search results. With that said, let's jump back to the video. Okay, so now that we've completed most of the website, now let's install a Contact Us form. So to do that, we need a plugin. So let's go over here to Dashboard, and under Plugins, let's click on Add New. And for search plugins, you can just type in Contact Form. Now there's several different contact forms you can use. There's WP Forms. There is Contact Form 7, which is a very popular one. There's also Forminator and several different contact forms you can use. We'll just go ahead and use this one here, WP Forms. So I'll click on Install Now, and then we'll click on Activate. All right, once you do that, on the left side, you'll see WP Forms. Here, I'll click on All Forms, and then I'll click on Create Your First Form. So to get started with, we'll just go ahead and click on Simple Contact Form. Here, I'll click on Use Template. And then here you can design, the form. So you can actually take these and drag and drop them. So for example, if you want this to be like phone number, we'll just go ahead and put phone number. And you can make these required, saying you have to put your phone number in. Now, I actually have a whole nother tutorial on WP Forms where I'll actually show you how to build several different complex forms, including integrating payment gateways. But for this video, we're gonna keep it simple. I don't wanna get too crazy. We'll just use this form right here, and then I'll click on Save. Now, the next option over here is the settings. So over here, you'll see notifications. Now, by default, WP Forms is going to use our default WordPress email by default. If you want to change that, you can always go ahead and update it right here. But you'll see this is the subject line. So I'll put new website notification. And here's the from name. So this is going to be Daryl's website. And then the from email, which is our current email. So I'll go ahead and click on Save. And then we can add this form to our websites. So to do that, let's go ahead and exit out of this builder. And let's go ahead and go to the contact page. So once we're on the contact page, I'll click on Edit with Elementor. Next, I'll go ahead and scroll down, and I want to get rid of this map. So I'll right click on this and I'll delete it. And then we'll type in WP Forms. You'll see they have a widget for Elementor. I'll take this and drag it onto the page. We'll select the form. And here is the new form. You can always go ahead and also style this as well. So you can style like the button, and you can style all of these other elements here. But I'm not gonna do that just because I don't wanna spend another 5-10 minutes talking about this form. So once you add that form, you'll then click on Publish. And this is now your new contact form. So I'll go ahead and fill this out. So I went ahead and filled out the form, and then I'll click on Submit. So now we'll check our email. And then going to my email, you'll see that we received the email right here. So I'll click on the email, and voila, here it is. Now, I'll be honest with you all, sometimes this does not deliver to people's inboxes. This is a very common problem with WordPress. If you ever do not receive this email, all you have to do is install an SMTP plugin. I have a video right here that'll show you how to do that. You'll see that a lot of people liked it. It's a very easy thing to get started with. So you can do this with a free plugin. Also, if you do want to actually connect your website with Gmail, like you want to use your business email with Gmail, you can also watch this video. It's completely free. It takes about 5 minutes to set up. And I'll go ahead and leave these videos for you in the description of this video. Okay, so in this part of the video, I'm gonna walk you through the Hostinger dashboard. There's several things that you can do here. You can run speed tests, you can check for malware. More importantly, you can create free business emails for your new WordPress websites. So I'll walk you through all the options in the Hostinger dashboard, and we're gonna create some free business emails for your new WordPress websites. Y'all ready? Let's go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about the Hostinger panel right here. There's a lot you can do from the Hostinger panel. Now, the first thing is, let's click on websites. Here you'll see a performance of your websites. You can log in, and you can also click on the dashboard section, and this will give you more information about your current domain. You'll see that we have a 100% page speed score. Our website is safe from malware. And yeah, this is just a general overview about your websites. Here I'll click on WordPress Overview. So here you have a few more options. You can actually put your website in maintenance mode. If you don't want people to see your website, you'll click on this, and then this will put an under construction page on your website. But I'll go ahead and turn this off for now. So one other option that people use sometimes is the flushing cache. Sometimes when you're working on your website, you might not see the changes apply on your website, and that's just because you need to clear the cache. So if you ever want to clear your cache manually, you'll just click on Flush Cache, and then that clears all of the cache from your websites. Now on the left side right here, we also have staging. If you ever want to work on a staging environment, Hostinger's made a really simple staging environment. So all you got to do is click on Create Staging. This will be testing. Then I'll click on Create. Here I'll click on Close. So now it's creating a staging environment for us. So I'll go ahead and come back to that. So the staging is now available, and what staging does is it allows you to update your website without actually influencing the main page. So for example, I'll click on Manage Staging, and then I'll access the admin panel. So now at the top, you'll see testing at your domain, and this virtually allows you to work on your website with complete freedom. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to maybe change the landing page, right? So let's say, for example, you wanted to build your websites with complete freedom. Here I went ahead and I changed the landing page, and maybe we can change the title, and you can fully change your websites, and this only applies in the testing environments. Now, once you decide, hey, I like this website, I want to actually push this now to our main domain, you can do that from Hostinger. So I'll go ahead and publish this. All right, so once that's done, I'll then go back to our staging dashboard here, and now we can push this to our real websites. So I'll click on back. And where I have these 3 dots right here, I'll click on the 3 dots, and then I'll click on Publish. Now what this is gonna do, it's gonna take our entire website in our staging area, and it's gonna convert it to our real live websites. This is used just because you don't wanna be editing the website when you have live visitors, right? It's kind of embarrassing, right? So here I'll click on the 3 dots, and I'll click on Publish. Now it's gonna replace your entire website, so they're just letting you know that. So just be certain that the website is the way you want it to look. Here I'll click on Publish, and it'll take up to 15 minutes to replace our current websites. So I'll click on Close. So the next option is the analytics right here. This lets you know who is visiting your website and from what IP addresses. So you'll see IP addresses, and you'll see countries, and you'll see a list of your requests, IPs, and also bandwidth that you're using. Now let's go ahead and talk about business emails. Right here, I'll click on Emails, and I'll click on Email Accounts. So you can create free business emails with Hostinger. So right here, I'll click on Setup. and we'll select our domain, and then I'll click on confirm. So we'll go ahead and select the hosting or free option. Here I'll click on select, and then you'll create a free business email. And then you'll put in the name of your new business email. So mine is admin@darylsatorial.com. We put our password, and then I'll click on create. All right, so it's created. I'll click on skip. So then it created our accounts. Now to access your accounts right here, you'll click on email accounts. And then here is your email. And you can create up to 100 free business emails per domain. So if you want to make another one, you would just click on the plus and then create another one. To access your webmail, all you're going to do is click on webmail here, and this will log you into the webmail. Here I'll put in my password, and then I'll click on login. And this is your new business email. Now you can actually send and receive emails from your business email. If you want to learn how to connect this with Gmail, I do have another tutorial in the description, and you can check that out if you want to link this with your Gmail account. All right, now to go back to the main options, I'll click on main menu and click on websites. And then we'll go back to the dashboard for our domain. Now the last important option is the domains. So I'll click on domains right here, and then I'll click on subdomains. So you can create a subdomain for your website. This typically is used for like support. So if you have like a support form or something, you can create a subdomain. So this will be like help. And then I'll click on create. Now a subdomain is typically a new website, but it's kind of like a separate website linked to your main websites. If you want to install WordPress onto this new subdomain, you'll go back here to WordPress, click on Overview. If you want to install WordPress onto your new subdomain, you can go ahead and do that by going over here to the website section. And now you're going to see that you have a new website here, but this is more of a subdomain linked to your main domain. So over here, I'll click on Dashboard, and I'll click on WordPress Overview. And then we're going to scroll down, and here you'll see install another WordPress. If I click on install, you'll then enter the credentials for your new subdomain, but you need to select it. So I'll go ahead and just put something here really quick. And for the advanced section, you'll now see that you can install a new installation right here under your new subdomain. And essentially, this is going to be a brand new website, and it's just a subdomain of your current websites. So I'll click on next. And then I'll install a fresh installation of WordPress onto this new subdomain. Okay, and once that's done, we can now go ahead and select our subdomain, and then we can log into the website. And just like that, we now have a brand new website using our subdomain. You'll see it's a blank installation of WordPress, but you will now see that this is our new subdomain. So that's how you can create subdomains using the hosting or dashboard. And lastly, going back to the staging, you will now see that it's completed. So if we go to our websites and I refresh this page, it's going to now import the staging area onto the live websites. So I'll refresh the page. And then you'll see we have that gray screen as we created previously on the staging area. So that's how you can also create staging areas and push them to your live websites. Now, the very last thing that we're going to talk about before I let you all go is how to switch between templates. So going back over here to Solace, if you ever want to switch between demos, all you have to do is just go ahead and go to the same process right here. So you'll just go ahead and pick a random templates like the Credo. This is actually a beautiful portfolio layout. I actually have another video on it. It's really, really good. So you can go ahead and select the color palette right here, like maybe like red. And all you'll do here is click on delete previously imported sites and then click on continue. Now this is going to replace your current website with this demo. So once you select the demo, you'll then click on skip this step. Okay, so now it's going to import our website. Just remember in the PHP configuration to have this unchecked. We are working on a workaround on how to get past that, but for now, you just have to have that unchecked and it'll import the website. All right, so the import's complete. I'll then click on check website. And just like that, we now have the beautiful Credo layout on your websites. Now, I just want to let you all know that here, let's go ahead and take a look at all pages. So it doesn't actually delete your old website. It just takes them off the menu and it puts them in the pages section. So if you want to go ahead and delete those pages, you'll just go ahead and have to click on the pages and delete them. But it doesn't completely delete all of your old work. It just takes them off the menu. So with that said, congratulations on your new WordPress website. I hope you like this tutorial, enjoy the theme, and until then, I'll see you guys later. All right, party people, thank you all so much for watching this WordPress tutorial. You have any questions for me, or you want to talk to me or tell me something, or my hair look good, whatever, let me know in the comments below and I'll get back to all of your comments. Also, feel free to go re-import any of the demo kits. The theme has more than like 100 templates. This is actually a theme developed by me and my team. It's taken about 1.5 years to develop it, so I really do hope that you will enjoy it. And if you can, a positive review would be always good. If you have any questions for me about WordPress or anything else, let me know in the comments below. Congratulations on your new WordPress website. You did the right thing. And until then, I will see all of you party people in the next video. Take care.